Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message reads like this. Hello brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please try and narrate my story as much as you can? If I make any mistake, you will try to correct the mistakes. My brother, my story goes on like this. I think that I know the secret that is behind the success to my brother-in-law's prophetic church. My brother-in-law and my sister, after they had gotten married to each other, that was when we heard that he was no longer a pastor, but he was now calling himself a prophet. As well as for my big sister, she calls herself a prophetess, and there are many times when they go live on their Facebook page as well on TikTok, giving people a lot of prophetic messages, and it hurts me each and every time when I go through the comment section, as I'll be looking at people writing their comments like amen, as I see that people will be believing in this prophetic word that my sister and my brother-in-law will be giving to the world, because there is a dark secret that they are hiding. The story started, my brother, when my sister came to me. When she came to me, she then told me that she was dating this other man. The man was not just a married man, but this man, he was a pastor, and he had his own wife and his own family. She then said that I should promise her that I was never going to reveal this secret to anyone else. So since she was my big sister, I then chose to remain quiet. But after that man's wife that my sister was dating, this same pastor, he had passed away. That was when something that was like a taboo happened, because that man who was a pastor came in secret. Then they had their secret traditional wedding. This whole thing, it was almost done indoors without the knowledge even of our neighbors, that at our house there was a traditional wedding that was taking place. That pastor didn't want anyone to know, since there was a lot of money on the table. Even my relatives, they chose to keep this secret. So after my sister had been married to this pastor who had recently lost his wife, that was when that pastor started renting out an accommodation for my sister in another place, and they kept this thing as a secret because the pastor didn't want a lot of people to know that soon after the death of his wife, before he could even finish the mourning period, he had already gotten married to another woman, the same woman who he had been cheating with on his own wife. So they kept this whole thing as a secret, even though it was more like a taboo. After the pastor he had been caught that he was already married, that was when he had a very big fight with the leaders of the church that he was a pastor at, and then he started his own church. Let me say that him and my sister, they then started their own church at this other place. When we heard that they had started their own church, my brother, at first it was quite a small church, but after these two people had started saying that they were prophets, my brother-in-law was now calling himself a prophet, and my sister was a prophetess out of the blue who could give people several prophecies. So a lot of people would flock to that place where they had started their church, and we heard that sometimes people would not even find a place to sit because they just wanted to hear the prophetic word that would have been given by my brother-in-law and my sister. How my sister had gotten hold of this gift of prophecy, we do not even know as a family. Then it happened that the more that they got their prophetic powers and the more that their church grew, my brother, then my mother got so sick out of nowhere. My mother got so sick that she grew thin. And by the time that we took our mother to the hospital, the doctor who was attending my mother, he was very angry. The reason why he was so angry, he kept on insulting us, and he was saying that, why do you have the nerves to keep such a sick person in your house like this? Because at that time, when you would look at my mother, one would think that my mother had been infected by the HIV virus, but this was not the case, because by the time that our mother passed away, even the doctors could not even understand what kind of an affliction my mother was suffering from. She kept on growing thin each and every day until she eventually passed away. And when my mother passed away, as a family, since we are people that do not have a lot of money, we could not even pay for her hospital bills properly all the time that she had been kept in the hospital. So then the hospital, after the death of my mother, refused to release my mother's dead body, because we were supposed to settle the bills first before they could grant us the permission to take our mother's dead body. We were stuck as a family, and we didn't even know what to do anymore. And all along, when my mother was sick, it would hurt me knowing that my brother-in-law and my sister, they will be having their crusade somewhere in our country. Yet my sister knew that her own mother was so sick like that, and she never even bothered to come and check up on her when she was still in hospital. But anyway, after our mother had passed away, that was when, as a family, we decided that we had to seek help from our sister, since she was now like very financially stable, and she was the only one who could assist us with the burial preparations, because there was no money. We were all broke, and our mother was in the mortuary. All that we wanted was for our mother's body to be buried so that we can respect her memories. But when one of my cousin attempted to get into contact with my sister, this is what my sister told that cousin of mine. My sister said to my cousin, "Look, I understand that I have to assist you, but I cannot assist you right now, because the problem that I am facing is that me and my husband, after the wedding, we never went for our honeymoon. So we need to go on this honeymoon, and we have been preparing for such a long time to go on this honeymoon that they had combined as a vacation." So she then said that since they had already booked the flight tickets and the place where they were supposed to go for the vacation, if they were going to cancel, they were not going to get their refund. Then my cousin, who was in communication with my sister, asked my sister if her vacation and her belated honeymoon was more important than the death of our mother. That was when my sister blocked that cousin of mine. As for me, she never blocked me. Even if I tried to get in communication with her on her WhatsApp number, she just blue ticks my messages. Sometimes she does not open my messages at all. This is the situation that we are facing, brother. But what hurts me the most is the way that my mother passed away. And soon after the passing away of my mother, that was when my sister and her husband, the prophet, found their big success. Even now, they are very big in our community. But my sister, she does not even care for her relatives. She was not even there to attend the burial of her own mother. Yet, she calls herself a prophetess. You should see her when she is on TikTok giving out prophecies to people. And it hurts me the way that people write in the comment section saying, "Amen. Let it be, woman of God." Please, if you have any story that you want to share with us, do not hesitate to come to my inbox so that we can share your story with the rest of the world.